A cold wind swept across the cemetery as an elderly millionaire, Daniel Reed, walked toward his late wife's grave holding a bouquet of lilies, her favorite, but just as he rounded the stone path, he froze. Someone was already there. Broken bar, a young woman, poorly dressed, her shoulders trembling as she cried softly into her hands. He almost turned away, thinking she needed private sorrow, but then she whispered barely loud enough for him to hear. "I'm sorry, a broken bar, I failed you." Daniel's heart clenched. Failed whom? And why at his wife's grave? He stepped closer. "Excuse me," he said gently. "That's my wife's grave, a broken bar. What's your story?" The girl jerked up, startled, wiping tears quickly like someone used to hiding pain. She looked no older than 22. Her clothes were worn, her shoes thin from overuse, and exhaustion weighed heavy on her face. "Yeah, I'm sorry, sir," she whispered. "I'll go." But Daniel shook his head. "Stay." "I asked because a broken bar, you're hurting, and because you said you failed her." "You didn't even know my wife via broken bar, did you?" The young woman hesitated, gripping the strap of her torn bag. "Actually, a broken bar, I did." That answer hit him like a shockwave. Before continuing the story, a soft reminder for viewers of the emotions you're feeling right now, the curiosity, the suspense. A broken bar, it all helps keep stories like these alive. So if you're touched by this moment, do like this video and subscribe. It really supports the channel and brings more stories your way. The girl took a long breath. "My name is Amina," she said. "Your wife via broken bar was the kindest person I ever met." Daniel's chest tightened. It had been 3 years since his wife, Grace, passed away. She was warm, loving, and endlessly giving. But he had never seen this girl before. "How did you know her?" he asked softly. Amina swallowed hard. "I first met her at the hospital. I was 17, a broken bar homeless, a broken bar hungry, a broken bar no family to help me. I fainted outside the emergency ward. Your wife found me and rushed me inside." Daniel listened, stunned. Grace never told him any of this. "She bought me food with her own money," Amina continued, "sat with me until I woke up. She even arranged for me to sleep in an empty staff room for a night because she said nobody should feel alone in the world." A tear slid down her cheek. "I never forgot that." Daniel felt his throat tighten. "Yes, a broken bar, that sounded like Grace. But why did you say you failed her?" he asked. Amina looked at the gravestone, guilt swirling in her eyes. "She told me to promise one thing," she whispered. "She said, when life gives you a chance, take it. Don't let fear chain you. She wanted me to go back to school, a broken bar, get a proper life. But I didn't. I tried, sir, I really did, but I couldn't pay rent, couldn't afford books, couldn't study in a broken bar. I got kicked out of college, and now I'm working at a restaurant, barely surviving." Her voice cracked. "She gave me hope, a broken bar, and I wasted it." Daniel stood silent for a long moment. Inside him, memories of his wife's endless compassion washed over him. Grace believed no act of kindness was small. She believed the world broke people not because they weren't stronger but because they had no one standing with them. "Amina," he said softly, "my wife never expected perfection. She helped people because she wanted them to feel loved, not pressured." He paused. "And if she saw you here today, crying for not meeting her expectations, a broken bar, she'd kneel beside you and tell you that you've already made her proud." Amina broke down again, but this time her tears carried relief, not shame. Daniel placed the lilies on the grave, then turned to her. "Come with me." She stepped back, surprised. "Sir, a broken bar, I don't want charity." He smiled gently. "It's not charity, it's a continuation of Grace's wishes. She wanted people to rise, a broken bar, and I want to help you rise." Amina hesitated, fear battling hope inside her eyes. But something in Daniel's voice, his sincerity, his quiet pain, made her nod. He took her to a nearby cafe, filled a copyright, ordered warm food, and listened to her full story. She had worked 3 jobs at once. She had been robbed once, cheated by a landlord twice, and forced to sleep in a bus station during a storm. Yet somehow she kept pushing. "You have more strength than you think," he said. After hours of talking, he made a decision that surprised even him. "Amina," he said, "I want to fund your education, fully, not just college fees. I'll help with housing, books, everything. On one condition. She held her breath. What condition? That you don't give up again. That you fight for yourself as hard as my wife would have fought for you. Amina stared at him, disbelief flooding her face. Why me? You don't even know me. Daniel's eyes softened. Because Grace knew you, and she saw something special. So do I. Amina covered her face with her hands, overwhelmed. Thank you. A broken bar. Sir, a broken bar. I don't deserve this. You deserve every chance life gives you, he said, and this time a broken bar. You won't face it alone. Over the next months, Amina transformed. With a safe place to stay, proper meals, and stability, she poured herself into her studies. She excelled in every class. Professors praised her dedication, and each time she achieved something small, like an 8 on a test, she visited Grace's grave and whispered, I'm keeping my promise. Daniel watched from a distance, proud. In helping her, he felt his wife's presence gain a warm, guiding, smiling. Years passed. Amina graduated with honors in social work. Ironically, the same field Grace once dreamed of pursuing more deeply. She began working with shelters, helping girls who reminded her of herself. She became a pillar of hope for those who had none. One evening, she invited Daniel to a ceremony where she received an award for her humanitarian contributions. As she walked on stage, she glanced at him in the crowd. His eyes glistened. At the microphone, she took a deep breath. I dedicate this award, she said, voice trembling, to the woman who saved me broken bar and to the man who believed in me. Their kindness shaped my life, and I hope to spend the rest of my life passing that kindness forward. The audience erupted in applause. Daniel felt his heart swell. It was as if Grace whispered beside him, you gave her wings, now watch her fly. And in that moment, he knew love never dies. It lives on through the lives it touches. To everyone watching, remember this. You never know how one act of kindness can change a life. And sometimes, the people we help a broken bar become the ones who carry our legacy farther than we ever imagined. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because your support inspires more stories that remind us that hope, kindness, and compassion still exist in this world. And just like a broken bar, you never know when your story might inspire someone else.